basically what this podcast is about farm, animals, pets, things like that. So I figured since we all have dogs and we're out in nature and we see moose and we're seeing bear, we haven't seen a moose yet.
We just saw a bear.
We just saw a bear. We're in the Gran Tetons. Yesterday we're at Yellowstone. We're going to be floating through the Gran Tetons tomorrow. This entire trip is out in nature, so it's no better time to talk about animals than right now because you see them everywhere. So you're going to see bison and everything else. I wanted to talk about our dogs because part of why we're up here is Carlos has a dog named Bean, and we drove it 28 hours up here, Freddy and I. Which, by the way, there's two Freddys in this video. Don't get confused. That's Freddy. And according to the Whitewater Rafting Guide, I'm what?
Freddy Prime.
Freddy Prime.
Freddy
I love that.
I actually said that, and he's like, "Okay, that's sticking."
So I want to be kind of informal with all this. I want to go through questions, but I also want us to just talk openly. That's why it's not a big deal that you don't know the answers to your questions.
All good, yeah.
And to be honest with you, if you have a pet and you don't know how to answer questions about your pet, you might want to check whether you're the owner. Maybe I shouldn't say those kinds of things, but the honest truth is,
speak from the heart.
Yeah. Pets aren't toys.
Nah.
They're things we're supposed to take care of. When you get a pet from the pound or you buy a pet from the breeder, those pets don't choose you necessarily. You chose it. So it's our responsibility to take care of them, but it's also our responsibility to make sure we're taking care of everything we see here. One thing I've noticed since we've been here is there's no pollution. I mean, as far as you don't see Coke cans everywhere. I'm from Louisiana. It's nothing to see a couch on the side of the road, and I hate to say that about our state, but it's just the truth. But I'm ranting and raving. I'm going to do that from time to time in the podcast because I can't help it. But I guess the first question I got for everybody, what has your dog taught you that a person could not? Ready?
I don't know. I just thought that there's always someone there that has unconditional love for you. So don't take that for granted and return the favor back to them as well.
Carlos?
That's pretty solid. Yeah, no, I agree. They love you no matter what. They're your best friend. So, take care of them because their life compared to us is a lot shorter. So, try to, if you have the ability to, and you can support having a dog, definitely get a dog. They're your best friend.
And for me, I would say it teaches you a lot of selflessness, teaches you to love unconditionally, and to treat every day like it's a new day because they never take anything to heart. They always shake it and keep it moving. So.
Yeah, I guess with each dog, they all teach you the same thing, which is unconditional love, but each one of them has no expectation. They just want to be loved. True. And that's pretty cool. I think in human life, we always seem like there's some kind of expectation out of each other. And dogs just literally wake up in the morning and wag their tail. I've traveled for 14 years. When I would come home, or even when I'd come to the truck after I went to the end of the gas station, that dog had infinite amounts of love. And I thought that was the coolest thing about a dog. That's the same thing. If even though they don't have the expectation back, why not give it back to them? They're not going to let you down. That's a cool thing. I guess the second question, what is the one thing that you hope your dog knows?
I don't know. That's a hard one because there's a lot. It's very hard to.
Y'all have had 2 dogs, right?
Correct. Yeah.
You had the Basset Hound.
Yeah, Smokey.
And now you got Bean.
Yep.
So talk about both of them.
Okay.
I don't know. With the Basset, I wish I had more time.
The name? Yeah. What was the name?
Smokey. With Bean, it's just
where the
that
name came from. Smokey Bear.
All I want is for him to have a great life.
I think that's something, Freddy, when we're on our way up here, I asked you because, when I had Zeus, I had to give my dog up for a brief period of time. When I gave him up, it's you're doing it for the betterment, right? So bringing him up here, I asked Freddie, I said, hey, do you feel any kind of way? Because it's both your dogs, but it's Carlos's dog. And he said, and I think this is a selfless thing. It said he's going to have a better life with Carlos, which is a phenomenal thing because giving up an animal, if you truly love them, is hard. I think that's pretty commendable. What about you and Leia? What do you hope she knows?
That she's my girl and she'll always be the favorite dog I've ever owned. And that I would do anything and everything to make sure she's safe and living the best life she can possibly live.
What about Oscar? I was around his pets, by the way, most of his life, so I can name them off.
Oscar, I would hope that he knows that, he really made me smile through a lot of rough times in my early childhood. He got me through a lot of tough times, and he was always by my side. He always made me smile. He had a little underbite. It was really cute.
He did.
He was funny. He was a good dog. And he was a wild animal because he roamed the neighborhood like it was his own. And he treated it like it was his neighborhood. So
he was pretty ballsy too. He tried to fight my Great Dane. I'll tell you,
he was a feisty little sucker sometimes.
There's a little song about Zeus that's in there, and there's a picture of Nicholas. And I told Nicholas this earlier, and it's a picture of him with my dog Zeus. He's a Great Dane. So I'll never forget Oscar trying to fight Zeus, and Zeus was like, "Nah, bro, I ain't fighting you." And Oscar's like, "No, I want to fight." And he's like, "Okay." And he picks up Oscar by the collar and is like dangling him like a toy in the air. And that wasn't enough, right? So then he puts his paws on top of the arm of the couch and lifts him up just that much more. So it looked like a little bitty toy dog dangling. I'll never forget that. Zeus wouldn't kill anything. But the fact that he had that kind of nature, like I want to control the situation, But Oscar also had the I want to fight because I'm not going to back down kind of thing. It wasn't like a negative fight. Like it was two brothers. Like gumption. I think we've talked about this. Y'all grown out of the phase where y'all fought.
Yep.
We've literally fought one time, and just because two dogs are fighting
doesn't mean
they could be brothers.
Yeah.
That's in and out in the real world, they're packs, right? I have my opinions on this, but I noticed this in just the dog parks. Y'all not in dog parks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I notice is that when you kind of helicopter parent your dog, they want to protect you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you kind of step back and let your dog do its thing, most of the time they're out there, they're just playing, and they have no defense mechanisms. But there are some dogs, and there are certain incidents, and you can't predict those. But all in all, I think that dogs, they have their little scuffles. Aries right now, he's 13. Deimos knows that there's no way on God's green earth that he'll ever get caught by Aries, but they have their scuffles every day. Hera does not, of course, have any scuffles because you have to wake her up. Or, she just watches and from a distance is like, they're foolish. But every dog has its personality too. So,
I did want to answer that.
What?
I didn't answer that.
What?
What I want Bean to know. When I moved away, because I originally had Bean with Freddy, like we had him for the first 3 years, and I moved away. He's 7 now. He just turned 7. Bean did. But when I left to move to have a completely different career somewhere else in Hawaii, when I said goodbye to Bean, I hoped that he knew that I loved him and that I wasn't leaving forever. And I'm very happy. I did not cry when I said bye to my parents. Did not cry when I said goodbye to Freddy. I did cry when I said goodbye to Bean, which was really hard for me to do.
He cried when I got here and said hello, by the way.
Yeah.
It was really sad. I did not cry when I saw him, but he cried when he saw me. So, and that's a true story that I just made up. So, to quote the late great Tosh Point. So, we've all had dogs die.
Yeah.
He did not. That's also a true story that I made up. It's just one of his quotes that I love to say is that's a true story that I made up. People tell me I make up crap all the time, and I do, but it's usually for shock factor and fun.
Exaggeration of the truth.
Yeah. If it's making people laugh, it's completely worth the story.
Yeah. You don't think Theo Vaughn does it all the time?
There's no way Theo Vaughn. Okay, so Theo Vaughn tells these stories, and look, maybe they're true. Maybe he's a nut job. But like I would say, 30 to 40% of these stories have to be false. But I can't call him on it. I'm from Louisiana. I grew up. There was a lot of crazy crap that happened in my life. So maybe 100% of this is true.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna call his bluff on that. Anyways, if he wants to bring me on his podcast so we can discuss his maybe true, maybe not so true stories, and then we can get to the bottom of it, I'll go on his podcast. So, we've all had dogs die. Okay. One was y'all's dog, right? Y'all had that together.
Not Bean, Smokey.
Yeah, you had Oscar.
Yeah.
And I had, of course, Luna and Zeus.
Don't forget Tiger.
And I had Tiger. And Tiger was basically, just to
forget
let you
him.
know, he's not a dog. He was a badass cat.
It was a lion inside of a cat.
He literally disliked everyone but me. It was awesome. One time, my stepdad drove over him. He broke all his ribs and still lived through every single ounce of it. And I will never forget, I was in college. Your dad calls me and he's like, he says, "Hey, Freddy, I ran over your cat. Can you come home?" I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "Because I can't get him out." And I'm like, "Oh, so he's still alive?" He's like, "Yeah." And so I get there and I pull him out. I'm the only person that can get him out of here. We run him to the vet. Your dad's losing his mind. And he's convinced something's negative is going to happen. We get to the vet and the vet says, "I cannot believe this. He's literally got every broken rib in his body." And he made it through it. And I'm telling you, he's beat up. He jumped out of a tree on top of a Rottweiler's face. He was crazy.
He was relentless. That's the perfect thing for him. True tiger.
It's hard for me. This is going to be something every time we bring up a dead dog. I will be lucky to get through anything where I talk about a dead dog or a dead pet, and I'm speaking any specifics without crying. I've cried at maybe 2 funerals in my life, but I will cry at the thought of my dogs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. People can have their judgment on that. Maybe I should be a little different. But this question's specific to your dogs that have passed away. What would you like to say to your dogs today, if you could, after they pass?
Oh man, Freddy. I think we can share this one because we both found out we have a best friend. We had his birthday, and we got a text message from a friend saying, "Hey, sorry for your loss." And we're like, "Wait, what's going on?"
That's weird.
We're like at our friend's birthday party. Someone passed away. Why would our friend tell us this? So I immediately call our mom, and I'm like, "Hey, Mom, is everyone okay? Blah, blah, blah. Is Smokey okay?" And she's like, "We're going to wait to tell you guys when you get home." So we don't really get the opportunity to say goodbye to him, and I kind of wish we did. But, like, for the rest of that night, we were crying.
So you didn't even get to see him?
We didn't say goodbye. It was very
What
hard.
happened?
Smokey had.
And if you feel like you're gonna cry, you don't want to talk about something.
I can talk.
Look, I'm gonna precursor any of my questions. If I start asking questions, some of them they've never heard because I'm making them up on the fly. But yeah, go ahead.
We didn't get to say goodbye. We didn't know that he was getting put down. But Smokey had 3 tumors. He wasn't eating. He had throat, neck, and testicular. So he wasn't gonna make it out of that. So our parents made the decision to put him down, and we unfortunately didn't know that they made that decision.
I can't imagine, like, of natural causes where you can possibly be there with your dog to just get told something like that. Like, I've been fortunate in my life. Like, I drove away like 2 or 3 miles down the road the day that Zeus got put in the vet, and you just kind of turn around and you're like, "Oh shit, something's not right." And I went back and I had that opportunity, but for you not to,
yeah, it was.
it's
rough.
like taking something from you.
It was rough.
Yeah.
We for a little bit we were upset with our parents. I'm like, you guys didn't give us a chance to say goodbye.
I would
Yeah.
That would eat at me.
Yeah.
I mean, like when your dad called me when Tiger was being put down, I was in Arkansas, I think a Walmart parking lot. And he called me and he's like, "Hey, where you at?" And I said, "Arkansas." And he says, "Just can you sit still for a second?" I said, "Yeah, no problem. Let me like go to the car." And I was actually leaving Walmart, I'm pretty sure. And I went to the car and he's like, "I got to tell you something." At that point there was no ties besides Nicholas and my cat, right? So Nicholas is clearly alive. So I had an idea, but the fact that he at least told me and he's like, "You're so far away, I'm gonna have to put him down." Is that what do you like? Is
He's
there
very
anything you need me to
mindful.
do or anything like? And I was like, "No, there's nothing. I can't get there fast enough, and you can't do anything about it." So, man, that's got to be rough.
I remember burying Tiger in
Yeah.
the backyard.
So, and that
I know
backyard's still
exactly-
there,
I know exactly where he's at.
Sunday was
and
gonna
I actually
be.
don't.
It-
So,
It's there was a tree in the backyard. There was a stump right
Uh-huh.
right outside the backyard.
yeah, the one we tried to kill
right
forever
off to the left. Yeah, that's where he's at.
in the stump.
No, he dug up the stump. Dad dug up the stump.
Oh, that's
buried it
cool.
there.
That's cool. I hope they don't use like a stump grinder one day and find like my cat bones.
We-
That would be really weird.
But it had created a hole in there, and so Dad dug it up and put him in there. It was
That's
very-
cool. He's like interned in a stump.
Yeah.
So
Very sweet.
makes me
Um,
want to make sure that house stays in the family.
Yeah.
That's
That's definitely a thing.
well, with Luna, I wasn't there for her, but I just want to tell her like, I'm sorry. You know, she died in of semi-natural causes. I got no other way to say it. You know, and I prefer not to talk about it, but because it's a touchy subject for me. But in all actuality, like I wish I was there and wish I could have prevented whatever happened. But in all honesty, she did a lot of silly stuff pretty much all the time, which was great.
She
Like,
got you a new kitchen.
she got me a new kitchen, which at some point he's going to talk about his dog and a specific situation that happened with his dog. And I'm going to talk about a situation with my dog, and they're literally the polar opposite. But I wish I could tell her that, you know, I'd be there. But the other thing I'll tell her is like, dude, if Zeus is right there next to you, you're in better hands with Zeus than you are with me anyway. And in all honesty, if Zeus and Luna make babies,
That was what I was thinking.
they would be gorgeous.
I was literally thinking maybe they made heaven babies.
That should be a thing.
Heaven
We
puppies.
should talk to the big guy upstairs and ask him like if dogs can still make heaven babies.
Hey, dude, can you tell us about that, please?
So,
Put in our dreams, at least.
okay, so all the dogs, tell us a memory about the dog that you do not want to ever forget. And try to get to like one memory.
Smokey
But if you
Andy.
end up getting more than one memory, I don't really care.
So I guess I'll do Smoky memory. Once he popped off leash, and I don't know.
Oh, you have this memory. I don't have this one.
Hounds have
I
a
wasn't
tendency
there.
of being stubborn and following their nose.
Yeah.
But he popped off his leash to chase a cat. And I was chasing Smokey, and I got to witness a dog see a cat run in a circle 3 times and run away, and run in a circle 3 times to chase the cat. I saw him smell the cat because he lost sight of the cat, run under a garage door that was open maybe a foot.
The cat or Smokey?
The cat ran under the garage door. It was open maybe a foot. And basset hounds have no legs, but they are kind of chunky. But he like army crawled under that garage door, wiggled his way in, and I'm sitting here like, how the hell am I going to get my dog back from this person's house? And then all of a sudden, cat runs out. Owners of the house open the garage door. Smokey comes storming out, sticks his head in a bush, and yelps. The cat was waiting for him, just slashed him in the face.
Oh, that's Tiger. Tiger's ruthless.
That's great.
Yeah, and then that's when I was able to catch up to
He was
Smokey
like, "Come
because
on,
he had
buddy."
his head stuck
He
in.
got beat up by a cat.
He had his head stuck in bush fighting a cat. Yeah.
That's great.
I got called by the people down the street. They're Rottweilers. I hate to say it, but like their Rottweilers were infamous for killing cats. But I got called because it was the only cat I know in existence of my childhood that the people with the Rottweilers called to tell me to get my cat off of their dog. And I did not care one bit because Tiger was a badass. So I leisurely walked down there and watched their dog in a like fetal position in a corner while Tiger was beating the crap out of him because he was the coolest. Um, and that might be the story I come up with Tiger. But go ahead with
Bean?
With Bean, it's just being there from like hours after he was born, seeing him open his eyes, learn to walk, was really just something that I would never give away.
Oh, yeah. Smokey. Memory with Smokey. This guy was intelligent. Oh my gosh. My memories of him is he would open the sliding door to go out, use the restroom, off leash. He'd come back and he'd let someone know that he's back, so we would close the door.
I remember that slide.
Same thing with the front door. I wasn't there for this memory, but my mom probably shares this memory. But she told us my cousin was staying over. She left the door open. Smokey went out, did his business, came back. My mom was asleep in her room, and my mom just loves to sleep if it's her day off. And he's just knocking at her door to try to get her attention.
Bellowing bark.
Yeah, and
was
my
it
mom's
that like typical Basset Hound like woo woo woo?
Yep.
he was a howler.
Scare other
He
dogs.
scare people too.
Yeah.
My mom woke up, went up, is like, "What do you want?" And he walked over to the front door, and she was like, "Oh, it's open," and then went and closed the door. But I'm like, man, this guy is so smart. Like, I've never had a dog like that, and he was such a gentleman. He was such a good dog. We even had, but my favorite memory is our best friend, his little brother, who's now a lot. He's almost taller than us. He might be taller than us now.
He is, absolutely.
Putting him on the back of Smokey, and him riding on Smokey like a horse, and that's a pretty cool memory that I have with Smokey because he was a gentleman.
Aside from him loving sliced bread.
Yeah,
Love sliced bread.
you could put a treat on his nose and you toss it up and catch it.
Oh, that's cool.
He's a great dog.
That's cool.
Bean. A lot of memories of Bean. Chasing him in the rain. This one time, and I'm like, how do I get this dog in the car? Or like, how do I get him back? And I'm like, oh, I'll just get in the car because he loves car rides, and open the door, and he's just gonna jump in. And that's my thought process. And I'm like, you know what? I'm definitely his owner because I know exactly what he wants, and I know how to grab him into like attract him back to my hands. And I just got in the car, opened the door, and he jumped right in. I'm like, okay, perfect. Or just run the opposite direction. He'll chase me.
Okay, so I just watched a podcast with Theo Vaughn, and apparently he forgot to introduce Riley Green. And I just realized nobody knows who the shit we are because I never introduced everybody. So
we'll edit this part in the front.
No, we're gonna keep it
this
just
makes
like
it better.
We're gonna keep it just like this. That's Freddy Antonio Rojas. They're all my brother. That's Carlos Enrique Rojas, and this is Nicholas Ryan Hunt. And then I'm Freddy Lawrence Rojas. And yes, there's two Freddys with the same name.
Different socials.
Hey, look, if you message me and you ask me why, I'll give you an answer. It might be different than everybody else's. I'm a little jaded, but we'll get over that. So we'll move on from that. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Nicholas.
I did that.
I know.
Nicholas.
I know.
Last four social, please.
Yes. No. So I'll start with two small memories that always, made me think of her as a puppy. But
Start with
dog,
Oscar.
Oscar, I would say the memories I had with him were him. He would always get pissed off in bed because I'd try to get him to come up, and he didn't like that too much. He would snap at me quite a bit doing that.
He always gave old man vibes.
Yeah, he really did. He was a
had
friendly
an
guy, a little goofy, but he had grumpy vibes. He did things he his way only. But for the most part, it was throwing the rag down the hallway and seeing him slide down the hallway, hit the door of the closet every time, and then running back, and then he'd always get the zoomies. Honestly, my favorite memories are just my memories with him and my dad because I always, he had a very close relationship with my dad, and seeing that joy out of my dad with Oscar, it's unlike no other. And he wouldn't, I would try to get him to come and sleep on or sit on my side of the couch. He would never do it. He would only go sleep next to my dad. But
so he was like Aries with me.
he was like a brother to me more than he was like my dog.
Stinky.
Like it was like he was like we were just like brothers.
I'd sit on the couch with you.
But
I'd sit on the couch with you. I don't know. He's probably not even a brother at this point.
But he was a good dog, and he would always run around the backyard with us, and it was a good bonding moment for me and my dad all the time. It always brought a lot of joy into our lives. So I would say those are some of my best memories with Oscar. With Leia, since she was I got her when I was 18, I think. I know it was 2015, 2016 time period. But I remember taking her home, and first of all, she wasn't even the dog I was supposed to get. The guy told me I was going to get this boy dog that was black and orange, and I show up, and like, no, that's not the one. You're getting the sable. And I was like, okay, cool. And she's like this little fur ball. And I'm just like, man, I love you. And so I bring her home. And on our way home, she throws up all over the back seat.
Damos threw up all over the back seat. And we had to drive from Georgia to here with that smell. And he took a crap.
Nice.
And we ended up giving him, we stopped and got some melatonin and like just held his head over a box for the entire trip. Karen, that like to this day, if I ever ask her, do you want to give Damos a ride? It's absolutely 100% a no.
No.
Motion sickness?
Oh, dude, I don't know if he's going to grow out of it. I really don't.
Leia grew out of it, and
keep going.
Yeah, so she threw over the back seat, and I remember Tim saying, "Well, it's your dog now. You gotta clean that up." And I remember that.
Whose back seat?
It was Mom's. It was the Dodge. And so, and then another little memory. These are two little memories. When she was a puppy, she would always climb on the back of the couch like a cat. And I was like, did I get a dog or did I get a cat? And she definitely gives off some cat vibes sometimes. But the one memory that I'll never forget, and this is just incredible. German Shepherd, smart dogs. Well, she was always afraid of jumping over the little doggy fence, but I don't know how she managed to do this. I had the door shut to my room, the doggy fence behind it, and she managed. I had some friends over that night, and I had a lady friend over, and just gotta put that out there because there are some candles lit in the house, and well, I never turned out the candles. I forgot. I remember her. She told me at the time. She's like, Nick, don't forget to take care of the candles. Well, I forgot, and I went to bed. Well, I was suddenly alerted by my dog breaking open the door. She managed. She always knew how to open up doors, so she opened up the door and then jumped over the doggy fence. And I'm not exaggerating. This is definitely happening. And she jumped onto my bed, woke me up. She's in a state of panic. I open up the doggy fence. We get out there, and I grabbed this. I remember I grabbed the candle.
1 second. Guys, there's a moose right there.
No way.
There is a moose.
There's absolutely a moose.
Oh, yeah, there's a moose.
Hey, look, we gotta put this on timeout because we're gonna go look at a moose.
We'll be right back.
There's a moose over there. We stopped for the moose. But back to the story. So, open up the door, get through there, and at first stance, first of all, Leia jumps into the window and the blinds and managed to get herself tangled up in the blinds. I don't know what she was trying to do. If she was trying to like get to safety and get out the way, get out of the house, I don't know. But she looked like she was trying to hang herself. Not gonna lie.
Right here.
But they're probably from California.
No, those western states.
Well,
edit that out.
I'm gonna keep going. So I'm a little thrown off now. Anyways, so I went and grabbed the candle, burned my hands because that was a stupid move, and the fire was catching on to Mr. Tim's entertainment system that he had personally built himself. Um, and so it started to catch fire, and I ran to the bathroom, grabbed a towel, wrapped it around it, and threw it on the ground. And I think Leia's terrified of smoke now because she cannot, anytime we light a candle, anything like that, she is not for it. So I think that was a little bit of PTSD, but she saved the house because if she would have not woken me up, Mom would not have a house to come back to. And that was on their honeymoon, or not honeymoon. That might have been the honeymoon or anniversary.
So
But
you playing this fiasco on their honeymoon?
it was either honeymoon or their anniversary. It was around the same time because they left on my birthday week. So that's why I planned it. Anyways, go to your story.
But first, let me tell a story that piggybacks off of this. So he's got a dog that saved his house.
Yes.
And I've got the dog that started the fire. I've got a brand new kitchen. We gutted it, we remodeled it. But it's because Luna decided she was going to go onto the stove. She was a Great Dane. And she was gonna go over there, and I had a jerky maker, and I cleaned it out, but it still has the smell of jerky. And she pushed the jerky maker into the back of the stove, turned the button on, and I did not know. First thing was, I woke up. I was super tired. I was actually in school for my master's degree and going to work at the same time. I was super tired, and I smell the smoke. Aries is pummeling me in the chest. He's trying to tell me something. I get up. I look around. I look at the aquarium. I look all over. I smell all the outlets, and nothing's burning. I didn't think to open the door. I go back to my bed. I lay down. Aries jumps on my chest and starts pouncing on me like he's giving CPR. I get up and I'm like, "What's wrong?" And I'll tell you this: if you deal with Aries, he's a smart dog. He's the smartest dog I've ever owned.
He's smart.
And I said, "What's wrong?" And he says, I guess he says nothing, but he pummels my door repeatedly, like slamming his nose into the door. And I'm like, "Oh shit!" I open the door. Black smoke's rolling in. I look. I see a fire. I didn't call 911. I'm not very good at like knowing that's the thing to do. So I put the fire out myself. But the first thing I did was run over there to the jerky maker and like rip the cord. And it wasn't connected to the wall. It was just melting. And then I took the faucet water and I start running all over trying to put this fire out. And I drench my counters. Everything's drenched. I finally get the fire out, and that's when I realized that she had pushed the button on the back of the stove, which I learned from a friend of mine that if you go online and you look up the little button, the like safety stuff, that he had to do it because his cat caught his kitchen on fire by turning on the button too, because it was walking across the back ledge of the stove. It hit the button, turned the button, and when it turned the button, the pizza boxes on the stove caught on fire. So everybody was very surprised at this. I was not, because Luna, like I said, she was great. She was probably one of the coolest personalities ever. She got along with every single person except for Aries. That's how I know there's probably something wrong. Because if Aries wants to go and hang out with Luna, he's an old like man, and he's like, "Nah, I don't want to do that." So he was trying his best to get out. So, you have a dog that saved your house. I have a dog that rebuilt my house. She's not alive anymore, but she did reconstructions apparently. But go ahead. What did you want to say with Bean?
Oh, this one day, he hadn't seen me for a while, and I'm sitting on the couch, and he had just gotten home with him, and he comes zooming through the our entryway, sees me sitting on the couch in the living room, and the couch is right next to the sliding door. Bean jumps on the couch, slides, and nosedives into the window.
Was he okay?
Was
the window okay?
There was a loud freaking like boom, and the window's fine.
Bean's
okay, I think.
I think
He might have some screws loose, and
more than a
you
few.
just hear us two laughing our asses off, and our mom just at the time we were all living together. She wakes up and she's like, "What's going on?" And we're just laughing. We couldn't answer it for like a solid like 3 minutes. We couldn't answer. because we were just dying of laughter. And eventually tell her that he ate it on the sliding door, and she's like, "Okay, can you guys be quiet? I'm trying to go to sleep."
That's all she said.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? There's never been a time that like I've been around your mom where she didn't seem tired. She's a great person and works so hard. So that makes a lot of sense. Wake up and like it's cool. Like
She
whatever
also goes
happens.
to sleep early.
Yeah, well, that happens, when you turn whatever age. So, I guess I've had more dogs, lived longer, as you can tell. You got my Luna story. Tiger, you got my tiger story. In all actuality, between the jumping off the tree, which was an oak tree, that actually, you know what's crazy about it? I know what stump you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And the story about him jumping
That's
out of
in
the
the
tree,
tree.
that was that tree.
That's what I was thinking.
So he's buried in his cool ass
That's cool.
I'm from 300, jump out of a tree on top of your face. Tree, so that's cool.
That is cool.
I didn't realize
That's
that
a full
till now.
circle moment.
That is. He got buried in his like a salt tree.
That was Dad's choice too. Huh.
Yeah.
Shout out, Dad. Appreciate you.
Then let's see. Then I got Zeus. Man, I've got some stories that like are not exactly ready for like children. So one time I was walking down the road and the person I was with at the time had a wiener dog, and I didn't think nothing of it. Our dog was in heat, and Zeus was an intact male because you don't neuter them for the first 2 years. So he starts air humping. I don't think there's anything to this. I really didn't. I thought nothing's gonna happen. It's just a funny thing to watch because it's never gonna happen, right? And he
He found his way.
no, but he definitely covered the dog. And I will never forget the face of the person when they turned to me and was like, "You're cleaning my dog." And as gross as it is, it's kind of worth it because it was hilarious.
Yeah.
That
doesn't happen.
You had to rub her wiener.
Yeah, with washcloth.
He had to take the condiment off of the wiener.
So, let's see. I've got a lot of memories of Zeus. He gave me a lot of cool memories. But I'll never forget coming home. I was in college. I come home. Mom's in the hallway, and she's at the house. She's like, she hears me pull in the driveway. She starts screaming, "Freddy, come see, come see." I'm coming in the house. I'm like, "What, Mom?" She's like, "Well, look what I can do with Zeus." And look, we lived in a cracker box of a house.
Yeah,
and the doors were those old cardboard doors that like you would think that you only see in trailers, but you definitely saw it in this house. And it was basically cardboard. And she gets me and she's like, "Hey, come see." I was like, "All right." So she's like, "Hey, Zeus. Hey, Zeus." And Zeus he would try to go through anything if he could get to his people. And he hits the door bows. Mom's excited. She's like, "Look what he can do. Look how big he is."
My God.
I'm like, "Mom, you might not want to do that again." "No, let's do it one more time. I want to show you. It's cool." She does it again. Zeus hits the door. The door and the frame come completely off the wall.
Nice.
It pins her against the floor. She's laying there like the Wicked Witch of the West. She looks over at me under the door. She looks like the Mista lady that got the air conditioner dropped on her in Happy Gilmore. And she's like, "Get me out of here." And then, sorry, edit that part too. And then and then Zeus is standing on top of the door with my mom on the floor, pancake, and she's trying to get me to get the door off of her. I didn't like hurry. I can tell you that because I thought it was freaking hilarious.
She did instigate it.
And I will say that on top of that, Mom was going when I got Zeus. Another story is they got a lot to do with Mom sometimes. Mom was going through some things. She was between jobs. I wanted a Doberman Pinscher. She told me no because she didn't trust him. Then I went to the Hound, which I own currently. It's one of the breeds that I own now. But the lady was up. I don't remember her name. I was 20 at the time. she said, unless you can handle a dog that can jump on your fridge, you might not want that dog. And I said, okay. So we go looking for dogs. I go to see Zeus. Zeus comes running out this trailer, and he looks like, you remember when you watched Bambi right there at the beginning, and it like and she like,
Learning to walk.
I don't know if what Bambi's a boy or a girl. I have no clue. But face plants because its legs are wobbly.
Yeah.
He missed they just bathed him. He missed every single stair. He hits the mud. The mud shoots everywhere. And I was instantly like, that's my dog. That's the one I want. That goofy bitch. And I get him. And before I get him, I call mom, like, hey, mom, I'm coming home with his name's going to be Zeus, which, by the way, the coolest thing is we have a moose over here, and his nickname was Zeus the Moose.
That was Mom's nickname for him, too. She
Yeah,
called him Zeusy Moose.
Yeah.
That was my gamer tag on. That was my first gamer tag on Xbox, was Zeusy Moose.
Stolen valor.
And I went off to, so I had him for a couple months, and then I go off to military training in Fort Lewis, Washington. And I come home, and you could tell because when my truck pulled in, because it definitely doesn't have any catalytic converters, and it had like Flowmaster exhaust. It was loud. And I come pulling in the driveway. Mom knows I'm coming in the driveway. She's got Zeus, and Zeus is like yanking her down the driveway to get to me. I get out the truck, and the first thing she said was, "Oh, he's the size of a Labrador Retriever, right?" And I looked at her like, you asked how big this dog was, not how big he was gonna be. And I told you he was as big as a Labrador. What kind of person doesn't know a Great Dane is freaking huge?
I mean, it's the name.
But I will say this. If it wasn't for whatever she was going through, maybe depression or anything like that, the dog that I most cherish in my entire life, I would not have had. So anybody that's young and their mom's going through something and you want to get a cool dog, I completely am okay with you lying to your parents and telling them anything that gets you that dog. And they'll forgive you one day. My mom definitely forgives me. She loves that dog.
My mom didn't want Smokey.
So, and you don't, that was a joke, by the way, but in all seriousness, it's probably not a joke. I think that people should get the dog they want. As long as you can handle taking care of that dog.
Okay.
See, a funny story with Hera. Well, I mean, literally, I'm a heavy metal guy. If they can't already figure this out, because I've been complaining about our music for like a week. But I got Hera at a Korn concert, and so she's my corn dog. The people that I got her from, AJ James in Missouri, they drove from Missouri to Little Rock, Arkansas, dropped off Hera to me. I went to the concert and left her in the room, and I'm fairly certain when I told the people at the front desk when they saw her that she was going to be in a kennel, and if they heard her crying, it was okay. Like, they could go either take care of it or they could ignore it. And I don't think she cried right away. I think they just literally wanted to hold her because she was abundantly cute. And then there was then there's Aries. Little fact, you weren't supposed to get the dog you got with Leia. I wasn't supposed to get Aries. The people I got Aries from, they told me that all the dogs were spoken for but one. They were driving from Alabama to LSU to get the hearing tested. I told them that's fine. I met them in a PetSmart parking lot, and I got the laziest dog I could. And they said that one's going to the Dallas PD. He apparently didn't because I have him. Sorry, Dallas. I don't know if I'm supposed to say those things, but I clearly don't know that guy's name anymore. But my biggest memory with Aries is probably with you, Carlos.
Oh yeah.
We brought him to the Grand Canyon, and this dude was nuts. Never slept. He pulled all the hair out of my head, and that's a true story. That's not how I got bald in the areas. That's just what he did with the little bit of hair I had. He actually, we got to the Grand Canyon. He hung out with us the whole time, was cool as could be. And I was like, let's let him go. And that was the same moment we got your frog or lizard, whatever.
Well, that's one way to make wildlife show up.
You scare the moose off.
Thank you. That moose didn't care.
Good job,
So,
buddy.
Anyways,
so we let Aries loose, and he took off running, and he definitely we were scared he wasn't coming back.
Oh, yeah.
That dude was jumping from rock ledge to rock ledge, living his best life.
yeah.
But I will also not forget getting to the edge of the Grand Canyon and us letting him out there, and he was literally like everywhere they say don't go to. He was hopping from Little Rock to Little Rock. Um, People on the internet might hate that. Um, I was young and he survived, so we're just gonna get over it because he's definitely the coolest dog, and he's extremely loyal. I don't think he cares about anybody but me. Um, Everybody else is just entertainment for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then Deimos. I would say my memory with him is when he puked all over Karen's car, but and that'll stick in my brain because driving from Georgia with that smell in the car is embedded in my brain. But I would say with Deimos, it's when he does parkour.
He does.
Does he really?
He'll
Yes,
hop on.
Karen will say, and I taught her this. One of the
Does he
things I like to
parkour?
do with Zeus and Aries is like they have natural tendencies. All dogs, like if you like, y'all had your dog, you had your dog, and there was things they do naturally, and if you can kind of trigger that to a phrase, then you technically taught them that phrase is meaningful, and they do it. So, Karen was working with Damos, and she has taught him to parkour. So when she says parkour, he gets down, and then he goes ape shit crazy, runs around the room, jumps on top of everything, acts like a wild man. He doesn't get the zoomies. He's just naturally a zoomie. I don't know what it's like for Damos to get the zoomies because I think for any other dog, they would get faster. I think he would have to get slower because he's already running at Usain Bolt slash Trendon Holiday.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is if y'all don't know
LCO.
sports, it's sports people. He's just an insane athlete, coolest dog. He's an Albizen hound. The breeders are great people too. Let's see. What advice would you give someone whose dog is becoming elderly?
Cherish every moment. Spoil the absolute shit out of them. That's about it. Spoil the absolute shit out of the dog, and cherish every moment you have with them. Because the grays won't go away, but um, the memories will also stay forever. So
Yeah, bro, I can't talk that.
Really good, really good.
thank you, I appreciate it.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
I mean,
Well, hurry up and Google some insightful shit.
I
And then,
can't.
like,
I
Let's
don't.
take it
I
from
don't
the
have
dome.
signal here. Yeah. I mean, love them till the last day, and just remind them. I mean, I feel like dogs don't know they're getting old,
No.
and they're still a puppy at heart, and like every time you as they're getting older, especially towards their last day, you do something special for them, or just try to remind them uh, that they're still that puppy at heart. I think that makes their day. Cherish that moment too.
Absolutely. What I would say is treat every day, every minute, every second like it could be their last. Live it up to the fullest. When it comes to what they're prone to deal with from a health perspective, make sure you're being proactive about those things. Supplements, making sure, you're being present in the moment because, a lot of times, we get caught up in life and we don't spend the time to actually feel around on the dog, make sure everything's good. Because at the end, and noticing behaviors, changing behaviors, just being aware of your dog and really treating it like it's your own child because it really is. It's the dog, cat, whatever it is, it's your fur baby. And it really gives you a good insight into what it might be like to have a child and just cherish every moment with that dog.
Supplements are important.
Yep. You
Yeah.
got to give them the creatine, the monohydrates, the BCAAs.
Well, you're gonna laugh at this, but Aries is on creatine.
That's all water weight.
No. It has a lot to do. I did some research on it. I don't look. You can go to your vet. You can do your research. Everybody does what they want to do. There's gonna be haters on the internet. And at the end of the day, you can hate, but treat your dog like you want to treat him. I'll treat my dog like I want to treat him. So far, everything I'm doing is working on a 13-year-old Dogo Argentino. I did the mushroom powder. And I give that to them every day. And the lumps, you know how they get the non-cancerous lumps and they grow?
Mm-hmm.
They've reduced in size. I'm not saying that he's prevented from having cancer, but like at least he doesn't have this lump walking around rubbing on things. And then there's a plasma based supplement that I use. And I learned all this from Zeus. Like when you're in college and you don't have any money, you know, you do what you can. And I was very fortunate to have 12 years with a Great Dane. But the food quality at a young age, the supplements at a young age, especially when you have a Mastiff type breed, make a huge difference. I mean, he's got hip
German
displacement and
Shepherd.
German Shepherd. Aries, you know, the fact that he's just 13 years old is awesome. He does think he's a puppy until Deimos jumps over him by like 5 feet, and then he realizes he's just gonna lay down and not try to chase that puppy.
He's walking out the door in the morning to get his fresh morning sun, and all of a sudden you see Deimos running across the
I
full
think
speed.
the thing like what you were talking about is like cherishing the moments and understanding your dog and everything. When Zeus was dying, I drove away and I knew something was up. And I turned around and came home. And Zeus in his final hoorah, which I thought was epic, he picked up Aries and threw him across the room and then laid down and wouldn't get up. I got him into the truck. As much as lifted trucks are cool, in all honesty, when your dog gets elderly, they're kind of a burden because they can't get in. But I had the Cadillac, and I put him in the Cadillac and I brought him to the vet. So I knew something was up. So paying attention to your dog's really important. But I don't know. Y'all haven't been there when you put a dog down, have you?
No.
And you
We found out.
Oscar?
Yeah, and there's one thing about that moment: be present. A lot of people don't want to be there for that moment because
I think you owe it to them.
you do. There's nothing that would bring them more happiness and joy than seeing the one person they love and the family that they love than being there in that moment. Because if you're not, I mean, they're there alone. When you're on your last moments, do you want to be alone?
No. And so with Zeus, I was fortunate in a way because with renal failure, there's testing that can be done to tell you how far along the renal failure is. I had an awesome vet at the time. He's retired, Dr. Stevens. He was actually Mike the Tiger's vet for LSU. He came in. I brought Zeus in. He did the testing. He said, "Look, your dog's not in a position of pain yet, but we'll run the testing and make sure that until he has pain or he's about to have pain, we'll do our best and we'll keep him in a good standard of life." Well, that was nice. You don't get that out of too many vets nowadays, and I don't know if it's just a numbness to the situation. I would hate to be in a position where I had to do life and death things with animals all the time. I'd end up running a nonprofit because I would just try my best to keep them all alive till they all had to die. But so I'd be a vet that was broke. But I can remember sitting there and like Zeus was back in the kennel. I came in for the last day. I came in all the time. And I came in and the vet was like, he's in the back in the kennel. I said, okay. He said, look, it's to the point where he can't walk. We'll get somebody to come help you get him up and we'll get him into the room and we'll do our final goodbyes. I walked back there. I looked at Zeus and I said, Zeus, I pet him for a little while, loved on him some. He had this giant duck stuffed animal for some reason that he grew attached to in his final year. Um, I I looked at him and I was like, "Can you get up one more time for Daddy?" He got up. He walked all the way into the room, and then he fell down. So, um, being present, um, when I was laying down, and I remember holding his face and looking him in the eyes. I don't know. Other people might not need this closure, but I can tell you this: if you think that you know that dog doesn't give you permission at that point, it's like he knew I needed permission to let him go. Um, I don't think I would have. I was trying really hard. I think I would have spent as much money as I could, but between Dr. Stevens being brutally honest and it being a scientific fact that he was going to be in pain, I think I had that responsibility to put him down, but I also needed to be there, look at him, and get that closure that you're not going to get. Um, so I don't even remember what the question is. Oh, when they're elderly. I owed it to Zeus. Zeus had a fused disc in his back, which scares me with Aries because he has the same fused disc. Um, I remember trying to figure out like I would pick up Zeus and carry him to get him walking, and he would go to the bathroom. But I ended up getting like a baby bed because they're made out of that like washable like outside because he was peeing on his dog bed, and he would like I'd come in the room and he would look at me like embarrassed, and I thought to myself like you don't need to be.
Yeah.
So like I figured like after everything I've been through and you were there, I owe you this.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me. Like everybody's got opinions on their dogs and when to put them down and financials and things like that. And I'm glad he gave me permission. I'm glad I took care of him for the last year. Well, I mean, 12 years I did not take care of him, but for a year where like I like devoted my heart to. I remember shaving his back and putting a TENS unit on it because my back hurt. And I remember him looking at me when the TENS unit turned on, like, what the shit is this? And then after I took it off, he was like, that's pretty good shit. And then he came back and was like, again? And I was like, yeah, dude, you TENS unit all the time. And then I remember him like he hated baths. If he would destroy a room you try to put him in. And he was peeing on himself and he came into me and he knew that he stunk. And he comes to me like with the willpower to stand and he like I'm like, what do you want? And he goes in the bathroom, which is he never went in bathrooms because he knew there was a bathtub in there and he knew it was a trap. And I'm like, what do you want? And they're like, I bathroom? And he's like, yeah. Like he didn't like yeah me, but like, yeah, if you know your dog, like you said, you know your dog. I get him in there. He can't stand because it's a slick bottom. So I end up just sitting in the bathtub like every other day and washing him like a sponge bath. Like he's like an Egyptian princess every day. So in all honesty, he got it pretty good. He got massages at the end. He got to pee wherever he wanted, which is what most men do nowadays. Like except for if you're in the city. I'm sorry if you don't get to do the things that the country boys get to do. Clearly, this is farm channel, so I pee out there, and sometimes I pee with my dogs.
Oh, I used to do that with Leia in the backyard of Mom's.
And I have lemon
And she
trees,
said, "Get
and if
away
you've
from
ever
the
seen the
creek."
world's fastest Indian, like
I'd let
he
Leia
tries
out
to
and
keep
go
this.
piss too.
He pees on this lemon tree every day, so I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But anyways, back to the dogs. Was it terrible? Like it's hard. Like you're watching them, and people are making comments like your dog's skinny. And last I checked, he lasted till 12. So even if my dog was skinny and he was too skinny, fat dogs don't seem to last as long as skinny dogs. And that's probably a controversial subject to say out loud because they're going to get all offended by it, but it's just facts. And I can't help it. He was just getting old and it's just life. So, and he lived till 12. And when Great Danes live till 12, that's like a magical situation. So I think, yeah, everybody's got their opinion on, different supplements, but like, I think it is. I'm sorry. I really, like, I never knew that you didn't get to be there for your dog. And I don't mean like you didn't mean to, like you didn't choose.
We didn't know. Yeah.
Like, and that's hard for a kid. I would understand, like, to a degree. Like, I would at least give my child the opportunity.
Yeah.
Especially because y'all weren't young, so you definitely knew what death was.
Yeah.
It's not like when you see on TV and somebody's like, my goldfish died, and they just go to the store, get another goldfish, and throw it in there, and then like the little 7-year-old's like, oh my god, look at the goldfish just swimming.
I feel like mom did that.
I feel like I
Oh my god. I forgot
thought about doing that.
I have one thing to add on when an animal in general gets elderly. My fiance's owned guinea pigs her entire life. Recently she had one pass, which was like the most anti guinea pig.
How
you could
long do
ever
they
see.
live?
Most people get senior guinea pigs are like 5 years old, sometimes 4. Her oldest has made it to 9.
Wow.
Can you train them?
Um,
I know you're getting to a story. I
pretty,
don't know anything about guinea pigs except for Peruvian people.
They've got personalities, but they'll learn when you're opening a fridge. It's food time. They have the audacity of like a grown human yelling at another human for food. They really just they'll have their own quirks.
Oh, that's cool.
They'll take petting and they'll like pull on your shirt when it's like piss time. They're
Piss time.
like when they need to be put
You can
back
train
into
them to pee outside or something?
No, they pee in their cage, but they'll like tug on your shirt so they don't pee on you.
That's
smart.
thoughtful.
Yeah.
Turkeys just shit on you.
Yeah,
So.
but she's had many guinea pigs. Rest in peace, Machu Picchu. Rest in peace, Biscuit. But the most recent one, Toast. Smokey kind of changed me, where I couldn't be there for the animal. But I'll leave work. I'll do whatever I can to be there for a pet's last moments. And I drove. I know Toast loves basil. I stopped for basil. I took it to the vet, and he ate a whole bunch of basil before he passed. He had no energy to keep his head up. He ate a whole bunch of basil right before he passed.
So that's awesome.
So the lesson here is, it might not be basil, but go get your pet basil. You know.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you're a dog and you were like, I want my last meal, and they had to eat the dry kibble again? Like, I do like every year I give my dog like steak. Which
Here's
this
your
year,
cake, dog.
this year I
Chocolate
didn't give
cake.
all the dogs steak for Damos' birthday. He seemed to want Taco Bell. Pre-lettuce incident. So,
Which one? You know.
No, all my dogs had perfectly good bowel movements because it was prior to the lettuce incident of 2026.
Okay, thank you for the year specification.
Well, it was like the toilet paper apocalypse of what 2020. Yeah. I still don't understand. I'll get off on a tangent about the toilet paper. You could literally just take the shower head and wash your butthole.
Just buy a bidet.
Yeah, or buy a bidet.
Big paper, you know.
Life changing. So, yeah, I don't know a lot about guinea pigs, but I didn't know a lot about different birds. And I'll tell you one thing. And have y'all had a crippled animal yet?
No.
Okay, so I
did grow up with a crippled dog around. Like our aunt had a poodle, and her
Had
back
one
legs
main
didn't work.
leg, yeah.
Yeah.
So when I would go to the Baton Rouge dog park over off of Burbank, I think Nicholas, you've been there. There was a white Great Dane, and it was so cool. Even though he was blind, the dog that he would hang out with would literally guide him around the dog park, and like it was the coolest thing. They were like attached to the hip. And the other thing that I learned was that they like it's cool. Like if you don't want to adopt a dog that's got a health issue, like a physical ailment or anything like that, I mean that's your own decision. But I will say this: like I've been around deaf dogs. I've had deaf dogs. I've seen blind dogs. And you want to talk about a dog that like literally be attached to your hip? It's the coolest thing in the world. They'll be attached to your hip, and partly because like if they're deaf, they know you're there. They can see you. They stay close. But they also stay in tune. Like if you flicker the lights, you do different things. They recognize things and they train themselves because a lot of times people don't know how to handle that. And they have the coolest quirks. That they do. And the other thing is, like when you're going somewhere and you come to your door and it's the coolest thing in the world when your dog comes running up the door for you. But it's also kind of annoying sometimes because like sometimes they jump on you and they get overwhelming. If you have a deaf dog and it's sleeping on the couch and you open the door in like ninja mode and you walk inside, that dog doesn't know you came or you left, so it sleeps right through it. It'll sleep through an earthquake if you let it. So they got a pretty chill life.
And when your dog does jump on you, appreciate it. Enjoy that moment.
They don't jump forever.
No, they don't.
No, Aries is getting to a point like he'll jump on the bed, but it's like it's a slow thing for him, and he gets embarrassed when he doesn't make it on the bed the first jump. Sometimes he misses, and I'm trying to figure out the ramp situation so that he could go. But I don't know. He's such a proud dog. I think he would just like
try to figure it out.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Nah, bro, that ain't for me. Like, you didn't make me into no bitch." So, but Aries is one of the most stubborn, smart dogs I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, the guinea pig.
Yeah.
So, I'm really interested about the guinea pig. So they develop their personalities.
Yeah, some will recognize their name and
Really?
look at you. Yeah. They
I'm just impressed that it will tug on you to go pee somewhere instead of just peeing on you.
Yeah.
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 Like you can hold them, be watching TV. Like I'll tell you this about a sheep I called NASCAR. It like stroked out, and it wouldn't turn right. It would only turn left, and it was a little like tiny sheep. And I love this sheep. I always like the crippled animals. Like I do. Like you look at them and you're like, oh, what do I do with that? And then you take them inside and you like nurse them to health, but then you're like super attached.
Yeah.
And NASCAR would sit down, like she would, like I'd wrap her in a towel because she would just, sheep, they just literally walk and poop. It's amazing. Like I kind of wonder if cavemen did that, like because they didn't wear clothes. So I wonder if they like walked and pooped. I don't think I'd be able to do it. Anyway, I would hold NASCAR on my chest, and NASCAR would watch TV with me and like chill out. She was the most chill sheep on planet Earth. But every time you took the towel off of her, she crapped. Karen really likes birds, but and the turkeys have a cool personality, but they pooped on her. So that's a cool thing.
Yeah, some are dumb as rocks, but there are a couple are real smart.
Well,
you got a good one. I mean, that one it outlasted.
You said that one was 9?
No,
Toast was
Machu lived to 9. Pichu lived to 8 or 7.
Oh, there was 2, Machu and Pichu.
Machu and Pichu are 2 separate pigs.
Are you going to continue to have guinea pigs?
We still currently have guinea pigs.
How many?
oh my gosh.
7.
7?
Yeah.
It's not like the crazy cat people and the crazy dog people. Like I think that's a manageable thing.
It's a manageable amount, and they have to at least be in pairs as sociable creatures, unless you're a guinea pig named Toast and you antagonize other pigs and you're cool with them being in the vicinity but don't want to share space with them. So,
Huh.
yeah.
So you had an antisocial one.
No, he was social but antagonistic.
Oh.
Yeah, he liked
He was like a little asshole. But
he liked yelling and riling up the other ones, but didn't really like being in the same cage as them.
I love
So he
that.
likes to see them, but doesn't want to be with them.
I love
So
that.
he's like a shit stir.
I love that.
Oh yeah, he's awful.
That's great.
One thing about Hera, like she used to get loose and kind of run around at like Hera's pace. It was never fast. She never moves anywhere fast. She's the sloth of the Great Dane world. But she's developed this thing. She wouldn't make it in prison because when the dogs do get loose, which Damos doesn't because I use a collar that tracks him anywhere because he's a nut job and he thinks he can catch birds 2 miles away. But if the dogs get out, she will literally stand and pace around and like wait for me to look at her and then go look at the gate. It's like the other dogs got loose. She's a snitch. She's not making it in prison. They totally don't like snitches there. But in my case, great snitch. Love her to death. I know the answers to this question. I think it's simple. Clearly for me, the answer is easy. You've heard me talk about dead dogs and live dogs. But knowing how your dogs have died and your animals have died with the guinea pigs, would you do it again?
Yeah.
See, it's obvious. That was an easy one.
Yeah.
Like, you've had a dog die, you got another one.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it took
takes
years.
time.
It took years.
It takes
yeah.
time.
I for Smokey for sure, just so I could say goodbye. That was
you would. I know your answer because I can clearly read the phone right here, and I want to talk about that answer because I've got a perspective on that, and I had perspectives shared with me when I got Aries about my dog dying, and so I want to share something with you after you get done talking because everybody's got an opinion. I want to share mine.
Okay, so
What were you gonna say, Freddy? I don't know. It's just like years of happiness for like the loss of the happiness. It's like the happiness will stay with you forever. So I don't think it's worth trading ever.
Well, you remember, like, okay, we fought a lot about this trip and going whitewater rafting. And Freddie had to sit in a car with me for 28 hours. And I told him something, and I think he remembers this. I told him, you're never gonna, when you go to dying or you go to get sick or you get elderly and you start talking about things, you're not gonna talk about, hey, by the way, you remember that one time we ate at Ruth Chris? Nobody's gonna do that. But you're gonna talk about the memories. And the coolest thing, like I can say, being out here with y'all and going, and Carlos, we went on a 2-week trip when he was younger across to the West Coast. There's tons of memories in that. The other day I was seeing a picture of you next to the National Forest sign. You were wearing your Brazil jersey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
God.
lost. It's okay. He made friends with the German ladies, and they
No.
basically told him he was a loser.
No.
And he's a proud boy that says Brazil.
Brazil.
But it's the memories. So I think like that's the coolest thing about the dogs, and you'll have another animal with more memories and so on and so forth. And they're different. And I'm gonna give you all some advice on this. Don't expect the dog you have and the dog you get to be the same and give you the same thing. I know that Great Danes are habitually lazy, but they're gonna have their different personality. Luna would nudge my elbow when she wants attention. Zeus would nudge my elbow when he wants attention. Hera, well, I don't know what she'll do when she wants attention. She just looks pretty and cute, and she plays the room. She can play a room like better than anybody I've ever seen in my life. The whole room will love her.
She just headbutts me.
She thinks she's a lap dog.
She knows she's a lap dog. She just got to find the right lap. It's got to be big enough.
It's a great pillow too.
Oh yeah, you can sleep on her.
I'll fall asleep on her.
Would you, after, I know Oscar was more your dad's dog in some ways, and Leia's like my Zeus. Would you do it again?
Yes, I would do it again. But like it did with Oscar, losing Oscar really hurt. And, it took like, let's say 2 or 3 years before I ended up getting another dog. And I don't know, I just needed that grace period before I could fully move on and go to the next dog. But
Would you get the same breed?
I would down the line. Not immediately. I would want to change. I would want to go for another breed for a minute because it's just, I would see the dog and see Leia. I know eventually, they're all different, but that soon afterwards, I could not. I would need another dog for a little bit, another breed, and honestly, but I wouldn't trade her for anything in the world, and she'll always be my heart,
When I was in the dog park one day when Zeus was getting old, somebody gave me some advice, and I think it's wrong. They told me not to get another Great Dane because I was going to have the expectation of that dog, of Zeus on that dog. I ended up getting Aries, which was the polar opposite. Other than being smart, one was the nicest dog to everybody in the world, and the other one only likes me, which is cool because I
like
bought
Tiger.
him. He's mine. Yeah, he's literally like Dog Tiger. But I got Aries before Zeus died, hoping that Zeus would rub off a little. What he didn't. But other than maybe a few tricks, he didn't really in personality. But one of the coolest things was like when I would walk them both at the same time. Zeus was getting elderly, and Aries would be protective. So if another dog would like walk up, Aries would get in between them and be like, "Nah, you ain't coming near my grandpa." And they fight in the living room, but out walking, Aries protected him 100%. Has a little 6-month-old puppy. Um, don't be afraid to get the same breed of dog. If you end up getting a breed, if you get mutts, you get mutts. If you get whatever, you get whatever. But don't be afraid because you're gonna have different experiences that shape the way you feel with that dog, and you're gonna quickly realize like you're not gonna have resentment because the dog's different.
No.
Don't be afraid of getting a different breed, but just understand that you get a Labrador Retriever to go duck hunting, you don't get it to go, um, do something like sit in a princess's lap or something. I don't know what people with small dogs do. My personal opinion, and you can take it for what you want. I'm 12 years older than them, so let's precursor that. So I've had more animals. Um, I would say don't be afraid to get the same breed. Don't have an expectation because you're not going to have one anyway. You're going to get the dog. They're going to have characters, characteristics that are similar, but
Like tilting the head.
Should have their own
Yeah.
personality. Yeah.
but you're going to have experiences with them. Like I've had specific experiences with Aries, traveling the country and doing things with Aries. Him hanging his head out the window, driving down the road with eyelids flapping.
Prancing through a meadow.
Yeah, prancing through the meadow. I mean, how many dogs can say they've run around the Grand Canyon and made and probably taken a dump out there that a bear's jealous of? Um,
Make memories.
huh?
Make memories with it.
Yeah.
With the
Oh,
dog.
absolutely. And let's see. Is there anything that y'all would want to say to close out?
I don't think so. I think we covered it. But
No.
Yeah.
I love my dog.
yeah, just cherish your pets. Cherish the memories. They'll be different memories from whatever pet you get, whichever iteration of pet you get, whatever era of pet ownership you have. But you don't get that friendship from that level of friendship from anything else in this world.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Selfless.
Unconditional love.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 So
Do you have
And
anything,
a
Freddy?
loyalty that not
Well,
not many people
one, I
have.
want to thank y'all for taking the time to do this with me. We're on vacation and we're taking the time to do this. I think it's good therapy anyway.
he threatened us.
Huh?
He threatened us. He made us do this.
Yeah, I probably did. I'm glad you
He put a
you
gun to
shared
our
your
head.
emotions about
Yeah.
your different situations with your animals. Freddie, it was good to see a tear.
Yeah.
I tried very hard.
I was actually crying because
Yeah.
of the aforementioned threats. So
Oh yeah.
He
And
threatened to push us off the Teton.
just the one,
Just the one.
Well,
The one
Yes.
Pete.
after we hiked today, I don't think they're getting up to the top of the Tetons.
No,
No.
not today.
But it was good to talk to y'all about that. I learned something about my brothers. We grew up apart, so I learned something about my brothers that I didn't know. I wasn't there for Nicholas when Oscar died. I don't remember where I was, but he died shortly after Zeus died.
I just remember we had just visited. It's kind of crazy we're all together because we had just went to go visit them from in Orlando, and I remember on my way home, my dad told me that Oscar was in bad condition. He's not eating, and he's just staying in the same position. And he won't do anything, and I just know like it sucked. It was one of the worst feelings I've ever felt. So, but again, I did it again. I did it again, and I'm very thankful that I got another dog, and it's the best thing ever.
Well, I would give years off my life to have my dogs back.
Yep.
And I think in all actuality, the world would be a better place if we were more like dogs.
Yeah.
So in closing, I believe in dog, and I think a dog should be president.
Yeah.
So I know that's just a joke because nobody will vote for that. I say that, but I've watched Idiocracy, so and I've watched
Great
what's going
movie.
on currently today, and I think we'll just end up voting for a dog one day, and that'll be a better place. So
Be a dog.
I mean, they predict the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah, like
On
the
occasion.
Like I think Jimmy
Yeah.
Fallon has like a little
It does.
segment for like the Super Bowl where he has puppies decide who's gonna win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, dogs already. I mean, we've been betting on dogs, right, before. So
Oh, I love like the Puppy Bowl. Me and
Yeah.
Lauren we'll watch the Puppy Bowl. We love that. Or the Dog Olympics and
Yeah.
stuff, and seeing all that stuff. Way more entertaining than
I
most
can't watch
things.
anything with a dog in it, and I need to talk about maybe Netflix should listen to this part right here. They strategically put these ads in every single TV show we watch on Netflix, and every time one of those dogs comes on the commercial, Deimos and Hera lose their shit. And if Deimos jumps on that floating entertainment center one more time, and he ends up knocking it off my wall, Netflix, you're gonna owe me something because there's some stuff on that shelf, and I'm gonna be angry. So can you please tone down the amount of dogs in the commercials so that I can keep my floating entertainment center?
Yes.
That's probably not a good closing statement, but I don't care.
There's there's a lesson there, I think. Don't be mad at the dog, be mad at the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's great. He said insightful shit too. So
From the dome.
yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank
And
y'all
he
for being
showed
on
emotion.
thank you for being on the first show of the podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We'll have to do more.
for sure.
Absolutely. We
And
could stream
Carlos
'em.
will probably have to teach me because I don't know what shit I'm doing, how to do it over the internet.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing, as you can probably see when you see this podcast. So, but thank you.
Woof woof.